Well, it's another part of Wakeboarding Unleashed. This time we're going to Belize with our next rider, who is apparently a massive legend, Darin Shapiro, who I don't think is related to Ben Shapiro. I can't really find any confirmation on that. They have the same last name. But, yeah, who knows? Maybe no relation despite that. But yeah, basically Darin is very much a massive legend in wakeboarding. His nickname is the Scud, and he pretty much has a lot of awards to his name and such. He's pretty much, I think, the next big name in this game compared to Shaun Murray. Genuinely, these two are the big names. In fact, you'll be able to find videos with them both together in titles, because that's how big they are. So yeah, we're playing as him now, and we're doing it in Belize. We have parrots to scare, we have a whole fuck ton of miles to go for manuals and grinds, and yeah, for the most part, about 18 gaps I think it was when it comes to this one, and ultimately, it has some interesting ones, I'll say. Not much else to really say outside of it being interesting. In fact, two of them you can get right from there by just jumping. Get big air and huge air. Pretty easy to get those ones. But you have all this area around here. You have this entire grind area, which, by the way, the boat can go around this area, but there's no fucking spot to trigger it. You have to kind of force the boat here, so that kind of sucks. But, you know, there's some interesting shit, though. You might notice, this is also one of those quote-unquote unfinished maps, in that they made the map, it has a lot to it, it looks like it is finished, but there's seams around the place. There's some bits where they didn't quite, you know, check the map entirely. They didn't quite finish everything entirely. And so there are bits here and there that are really starting to show that maybe they didn't really look at this one very highly compared to other maps. Maybe they didn't quite do a big enough quality check on this one compared to other ones. Because you'll be able to see literally open seams in the maps and the walls. And in fact, later on, we'll be able to go outside the bounds very easily at one point. So, yeah, this is one of those sort of broken maps when it comes to this game. And to be fair, like, there's not that many opportunities for you to just kind of break the game. I mean, it's easy for you to go out of bounds, and in fact to even get kind of weird of shit, considering the physics and all. But in regards to going out of bounds, the maps and such, not that many opportunities, honestly. Like, a lot of the maps are fairly contained. It's just, like, the rare instances where shit kind of unfinished and brokey. And this is one of those maps where it kind of brokey. But yeah, there's a lot of grind spots to work with, a lot of trees to grind on and such. And, yeah, there are a few ramps here and there, but this is very much a, like, grind-centric sort of map. Like, you're mainly going to be doing a whole fucking bunch of rail-to-rail shit, and obviously a lot of manual shit, which is pretty much why they put such a high amount of feet on both the manual and the grind, because they kind of knew this was going to be the main attraction of this one. It's going to be like the main thing you'll be doing around here. Now, another thing I want to bring up is the gaps. Because a lot of the gaps are, in a way, contained. But, like that one right there, on SmackDown. There's another one that could be above us from there, but yeah, for the most part, there are gaps that are contained. The problem isn't so much the contained part, it's more so how you're supposed to figure out that they exist. And in fact, some of these are just kind of dumb. They're just kind of dumb. You'll see what I mean. But right now, we should be triggering a gap from me just doing this currently, where I jump over these two gaps. Like I did it beforehand, but it doesn't trigger if you do that. Because it doesn't want to trigger when you're going backwards. It only wants to trigger when you're doing it from the forwards direction. So, yeah. Also, this gap, this specific gap there with that tree all the way to that boat, again, very fucking finicky. And because I'm about to run out of time, because my groove going in the very, like, zeros right now, I'm going to go ahead and just, you know, get my entire manual challenge out of the way, get that done. Also got quick transfer out of the way, which is nice. But yeah, for the most part, there's a lot to this. There's genuinely a lot to this. And there's even a secret area you can go to that is before a gap, essentially. And it is kind of funny, because it's a little bit of a unique one, in all honesty. Anyway, I very, very fucking clearly don't really ride this very long, because, yeah, I bail. But I did complete 7 of the 8 challenges. The only one I got left is the fucking bird. So, for the most part, when it comes to challenges, they're not that hard. They're not that unique, in fact. Like, it's just the birds, and that's about it, really. The rest is just kind of scores and what have you, like doing the balancing and all of that. There isn't that much when it comes to unique ones. So, ultimately, being able to pull this shit off is easy. Anyway, that's how you get Sacred Statue, by just grinding that top entirely. And after that, there is also essentially this entire bird here, which you can just kind of get from way below. The hitbox is a bit weird. Anyway, if we grind up this part to the rock precipice, there is quite a bit to, you know, work with, including 2 birds, as well as the fact you'll get the jungle fun gap. This area is the one where things get fucking weird. But for now, I'm going to get rid of this last bird, which requires us to not only grind this tree again, but to then jump and grind the branch above instead for that last motherfucker. Partly once the wakeboard is now complete, and for doing that, we have done everything we can. Here's secret area right now. Yeah. It's a neat little area, a neat little jump to the Secrets of the Jungle gap. I like it. A neat little bit of a visual thing there for that gap. It's cool. We've got 100 gap keys, by the way. But yeah, as the video just glitches out a bit more, I do get rid of this fucking gap, super fine triple slide, which I just jumped out afterwards because there's a lot of grinding afterwards. And yeah, then take care of this gap, which in order to get this one, let go of the rope and then grab it as soon as you're about to get that grind, and you'll get highfalutin. Otherwise, there's a good chance you're not going to get that fucking gap, because it's jank. Then grind these 3 grinds over here in order to get the next gap, which is called Temple Gap. This is important, you'll find out later on. But right now, let's take care of this gap, which you can land, but if you're going very fast like I do, you're going to bail into that fucking log. That's that gap that I was a bit too slow on reading, I'm afraid. But this gap, Rusty, is generally easy. Just grind the whole rusty part of that broken boat, and you're good. Then grind this entire rock thing from one end to the other, and you will get up and over. Now it's time for the weird ones. Now, the first one, if you go down this way and you go backwards, you might go through the wall, and you go out of bounds, and you can see the abyss. Don't worry, there'll be a bit more loading after the abyss, but yeah, there's just a whole bunch of shit over there. Anyway, the main thing, in actuality, is grind the top bit here, and then going all the way forward, and then jumping across to this bit in order to get the Return of Jungle Fun. And if you want a little bit more jungle fun, jump to the right instead like I'm doing here, and you will get a tad more jungle fun. And then we take care of this entire challenge, both like all 3 ponds are touching water in order to get not only a challenge done, but also a gap. Here is how my first run went, in which I got a bit weird. Yeah, that just happened. And if I grabbed the boat here, I probably may have gone the gap. But, that didn't happen. Anyway, here is me actually doing it proper. Because you have to board slide all 3 of these in order for the gap to trigger. So, grind that, then let go, and then grind this fucking thing. And then just do a bit of a jump to get across and get some more speed. Then it gets to the very end, grab the fucking boat, jump, grind, done. Ride the palms is now yours, and so is the challenge. Now then, let's get rid of the rest of the gaps, as I get a stat point for doing that. So the rest of the gaps are this one, where they kind of expect you to grind all 3 of these boats, but you can just instead grind the first one, mail all across to the 3rd one, and it'll count the Free of Glee gap for you. It's weird. After that, you then gotta go and grind this entire fucking wall here, from one end to the other. for this next gap. And it requires you to jump over these little blockades where the fucking torches are. You have to jump over them in a specific way. If you grind on them, the gap becomes invalid. And you can't grab your boat either. You have to get slide in the dark by doing exactly what I just fucking did there. After that, though, the last one is just grind this entire log here on the way forward from past the jungle fun. And then grind these 2 branches here. And you will get Tree Hugger. And that's it. They're not that bad. It's just trying to figure out where they are and what to do for them can be a bit weird. But again, we do have the gap list if you want to unlock those little hints. Now, gotta do a heel press, which is 2 left button press for the triangle button, in order to get across this entire thing for that one gap again. And, yeah, for the most part, you can just do a heel press at the very end and it will count. There you go. Temple gap, heel press, done. Now then, now taking care of the tricky gap, it's now time for our next thing, which is the count to 5. And count to 5 is fucking easy as long as you just jump across and don't be a dumbass. It's very easy to be a dumbass because this game is kind of jank, but if you know what the fuck you're doing and you don't act like a fucking dumbass, you let go of the boat, you'll get it. Like so. Now then, it's now time for us to take care of target practice, which can be a bit of a bitch. Because the fact that, for that one at the end, it can be easy to end up fucking up a bunch in order to miss it constantly. It is a bit of an awkward start you gotta work with. But right now, I somehow luck out and get the first target. And then afterwards, I need to immediately go right and grind the spot. And then I have to jump as soon as I get across up to here when I grab the boat in order to get this next target. And lastly, comes this bit. Now, you want to essentially grind to your right and then get the bitch. But instead I do this and make it harder for myself. I shouldn't be doing that. Grind the log to your right, that little bit of log there, up into the vines, and you'll be able to get a much easier time. Otherwise, you're going to be doing what I'm doing here and you're going to keep fucking up. Don't use the kicker. The kicker does not help you out in any way, really. It's genuinely dog shit. See? And, yeah. This is only done if you're about to get fucked. So, only do it if you're about to get fucked. But yeah, just keep jumping and grinding, eventually take care of that one. And next up is Video Shoot. 85,000 points in 25 seconds in this little area, which to be fair, it is a bit claustrophobic in a sense, in the fact that, yeah, the camera does not really help out, and it's very hard to tell what you're about to fucking run into. And there's a lot of objects around, including the fucking boat, like a ski that keeps, you know, driving about a bunch. But I do manage to make it all work out, and yeah, there you go. And lastly, we have count to 10. Count to 10, yeah, it's gonna require us to get that gap as well, kind of, so you don't really have to. It is awkward, though. Ultimately, we have to do what we did to the 1 to 5, and then we have to keep going all the way to those last numbers at the very end, jump across those gaps, and you're good to go. The big jump here is the main problem, because sometimes you can either overshoot it or undershoot it. And if you grab the boat, yeah, you kind of gotta cover yourself at that point. But, there you go. Just grab the 10, land it, and you're good to go. Now then, endurance. Endurance is easy, just match the tricks before time runs out. Pretty basic, you know, just the whole yell tricks as we call them out sort of thing. And, yeah, it does get a bit harder now, considering you have to do grinds, and it starts you off in an area where you're not going to get that many opportunities to grind, but they give you like 2 minutes. They give you 2 fucking minutes. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. There's enough going on around here that being able to pull this shit off in 2 fucking minutes is genuinely easy. Like, seriously, if you can't beat this in 2 fucking minutes, I don't know what to say, man. I don't even know how you got this far, honestly. Anyway, let's take care of the next level, but first, we have Star Search, and this is the hardest part. Because the stars here are really fucky. They do go in a line, but they like to kind of fuck you about of the line. Like, right at the start, you have to go from there and then go right and then jump off immediately, get that 1 star at the very fucking edge, coming back to the middle. Again, it gets a bit fucky. And not only that, but eventually you gotta let go of the boat and kind of do that one little gap you were doing beforehand of that entire wall. But not really. The main problem is just going to come down to the very fact that you're not going to have that much speed going through this. And you're going to be balancing a lot. And all that, you got to keep fucking grinding all the way around the fountain, then keep going afterwards after that. And, yeah, it's generally just really quite a ride. But you do make it, you do get it, and you will win if you have the charisma for it, and the endurance, and the practice, and the balance, and whatever the fuck else you need. But right now, that's it. That is Belize. And Belize is fine. As you can see, some of these fucking cameras don't really help out very much. Like that one. A lot of these ones just kind of show you the air, and that one's just kind of a repeat. You don't have to go that fucking high, but it's dumb. But then they do, you know, kind of give you the right idea. Like, that one's not the right fucking idea. That's not on SmackDown. That's the other gap. Then you got that one right there for Jungle Fun. Honestly, this level might have the worst fucking cameras. Like, sometimes, like, look at this. It just zooms into the fucking background. What the fuck? Like, the camera of this fucking level for these gap, like, cutscenes sucks. It doesn't properly show you this shit. It just kind of half-asses it. Which kind of fits the fact that there are gaps in the map, and you can go out of bounds very easily. It's kind of unfinished in a way, though it is finished, quote-unquote. And some of these fucking cameras do show you the shit you should be expecting, and that just reveals the entire fucking secret in that, which it shouldn't have. But, seriously. Fucking seriously. It goes through buildings sometimes. Like, for fuck's sake. And this is a shitty little fucking panoramic zoom in. Like, what the fuck? This level has really shitty hints for its little camera thing here. And honestly, if you just went by this alone, you'd be lost because you're wondering what the fuck. You're looking at it and you're going, what the fuck? But yeah, that's gonna do it for Belize. And next time is gonna be the last time I use the Elgato game capture thing to record this entire Let's Play. Because at that point, the whole video glitching out thing just pissed me off enough times that I just want to do the absolute rest of the game afterwards with OBS. So next time is the last time you'll be able to see the game capture shit. But, yeah, we're doing Venice, and then we're doing the Delta, the second competition thing, next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.